Well, just because you die doesn't mean you can't still be environmentally conscious. Recently, I went on special assignment to the Swan Valley and met a family that's turned its acres into a place where you can eternally rest in peace, naturally.
Yep. Henry and Joan Meyer made their home in the Swan Valley almost 67 years ago, raising 4 children and creating a lifetime of memories in a place they consider paradise. And they never want to leave.
To us, going to town is the worst thing you can do.
Together they built their home here and worked the land, the 120 acres that sit in the shadow of the Swan Range along Highway 83. And when it's their time to go, they're still not leaving.
I got thinking, gee, I don't want to die and had they haul me off to town and bury me. I want to be buried right here. We looked into that and we found out in Montana you can be buried on your own land. There's no assurance that nobody's going to dig you up or build something right on top of you or anything like that, you know. And the only way you could do that is have a regular cemetery.
So that's what they've created here, a nonprofit natural cemetery. Here people are buried without fancy caskets or headstones. They aren't embalmed. Often they're just wrapped in a shroud or buried in a simple pine box. There's no manicured lawn, just wild growth and trees and dirt. Simple yet meaningful markers for the dead, whose bodies will return to nature. Really the way it was done years ago.
If you get embalmed, although, you know, I mean, it's an accepted practice, but there's a lot of chemicals they're putting into your body when they do that. And then you put all them chemicals in the ground, and it's just, you know, it doesn't do the earth any good either. So we're trying to return to the earth more or less where we came from and allow nature to function.
The Meyers will walk these wooded acres with the person who's chosen to be buried here so they can pick out the perfect spot to spend their eternal rest. This area was chosen by a woman specifically because these woods in this area reminded her of home.
As for Henry and Joan, they already have their eternal resting spot picked out. Henry already has his casket. It's in his living room, serving double duty as a bookshelf.
It isn't something you just use when you die. It's something you use when you're alive. And so you're getting 2 uses out of it for sure. And that way it's not a total waste of material.
And it's a beautiful bookshelf.
No, well, it might not be that pretty, but it's good enough to die in.
The Meyer children sit on the board of this nonprofit venture, although it did take some time for the concept to sink in.
Almost everybody in the family, it was kind of like set back at first. I mean, they could understand how the folks wanted to be buried out here because lots of people are buried on their own ranches and stuff. So, but to make the whole thing into a cemetery was kind of like, whoa, what?
Each gravesite is marked with its own GPS coordinates. The graves are at least 6 feet deep in rocky soil to prevent intrusion by animals. It is a perfect piece of Montana, where the modest but meaningful farewells take place in the splendor of nature, which is exactly what the Meyers want forever.
Just trying to preserve the land and have a place for the trees to grow and have a place for the animals to be and keep it this way. And those other people are helping me do that, you know, in a roundabout sort of way. And so that's sort of, to me, what it's all about, you know.
Cost around $2,000 at this point to be buried up there. They even had a military service up there with a 21-gun salute. You can find them on Facebook at Natural Cemetery Swan Valley or give them a call if you'd like more information. We have all that on our website. And for me, the highlight was meeting the Meyer family. That laugh is infectious, and they're all just delightful people.
That's neat. Well,